Hello. So today's goal is to organize data in frequency tables and histograms. First, we have to talk about what a histogram is. A lot of people get that confused, so first we have to know what is a histogram. It is a technical term for it. It is a graphical display of frequencies displayed as bars. So technically, yes, it does have bars like a bar graph, but it is different. It is only used to display numerical data. Normally when you have a bar graph, you can display different types of data that's not numerical. So histograms, it is for numerical data. So it is not the same as a bar graph. There's a lot of differences when you have a histogram and a bar graph. All right. So first, when constructing a bar graph, you have to have a frequency table. So we're going to look at, we're going to use this data here, and we're going to say that this data are quiz grades. So let's go ahead and write at the top. Quiz grades, okay? So let's just say that these are all your quiz grades in math. It's a lot of quizzes. Go ahead and write down all the information there, and make sure you're going to make a frequency table. You have to have the interval, the tally, and the frequency. Now what the interval is being that you have all these range of numbers, it will be a lot easier if you chunk them into pieces. Normally we can chunk them in groups of 10. I always start off with 10. If there's smaller numbers, then I'll go by 5s. However, you always look at your lowest number and then go by 10. So it looks like the lowest number is 65. So if I want to go by 10s, it's really up to you. I started from 60 and went to 69. So my first interval is going to be from 60 to 69, okay? And then from then point on, go by 10s. So we're going to go from 70 to 79. I know that my largest number is 95, so I'll probably go up to 99 or 100. So 80 to 89, and then 90 to 99. Just make sure that all the intervals are evenly spread apart, that have the same amount in each one. You can't overlap. I can't say 60 to 70 and then put 70 here. It has to go up to the number and then start with the next one in line. You cannot overlap. All right? Now, we're going to do our tally. So that means I have to figure out how many numbers are in between 60 and 69. I have a 65 here, and I'm going to use a different color to mark them out. I have a 65, that's 1. 65 again, that's 2. And I don't have any more. So now let's go to 70. I have 75, that's 1. A 70, that's 2. Another 70, that's 3. Another 70, that's 4. 80 to 89. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Now 90 to 99. 1, 2, and 3. So that's what we do with our tally. Now we go ahead and line up our frequency. So we have 2 here, 4 here, 7, and 3. So your first step when constructing a histogram is to set up your intervals. Most of the time you can go by 10s. Then you want to do your tally using the numbers that you've been given in your data. Then you want to count it up and write it in your frequency. Now it's time to construct the actual histogram. Now, as you know, when you're making any sort of bar graph, histogram, any sort of data, you need to have a title. So make sure you title it quiz grades. Make sure you label down here as grades. And over here that says the number of grades. That's how many you would have in that particular section. Now, when putting together your histogram, your intervals that you used on your frequency table, that's what you're going to put on these little blanks right here. So your first interval was 60 to 69. And then 70 to 79, 80 to 89, and then 90 to 99. Now, the thing about histograms is that the bars, they touch. Because if you notice, it goes from 60 to 69, then 70. There's no gaps in between, so that means the bars will have no gaps in between. Okay? So, if the first one was 2, from 60 to 69, then I'm going to go ahead, and from the 2, I'm going to come all the way out to where the line meets at 60 and 69, and that's going to be my first bar. Color that in there. And that's going to be my first bar. The next one is 4. So from the 60 to 69, I'm not going to leave a gap. I'm going to go up to 4 and go out to where the bar meets. And that's going to be my 4. Okay. The next one is 7. So I'm going to go up to 7 and go out to where the bar meets. And that's 7, and then it goes down to 3 for the last one. Okay, so if you notice, there is a pattern. Normally on histograms, what you'll see is an increase and then a decrease. You will see some type of rise and then fall. That's just how the data is given. And you should see some sort of rise and fall. Notice there are no gaps in those bars. If there are gaps in between, that means your histogram is incorrect. So make sure it's no gaps and that you should see some sort of pattern and rise and fall. And we will be discussing more of this and working on some activities in class after you get these notes down. Make sure that you have your X labeled, your X-axis labeled, and your Y-axis labeled.